Hey everyone, I wanted to pop on here and show you this quick fishing log that I'm making. I've made one before, and this is my one that I'm giving to a friend today, so I wanted to pop on here. So this is a piece of fabric that looks like leather, and I had a scrap piece of it, so I decided to use it. And then I put a piece of cardstock inside. I glued the cardstock, and then I stitched all the way around with just the fabric and the cardstock. And then when I started my stitching, I started down here at the bottom on the back. That way when I'm stitching all the way around, I had time to practice before I got to the front cover, and so it looked as the best way it could, right? This is a cardstock part of the printable. This printable is called the big one, and I'll put that link in the comments if someone asks. And then this is the same printable. I just made it a different size and cut it out, and it's on a piece of chipboard. Actually, it is actually a cereal box is what it is. And so I glued it with Fabri-Tac. And so it has you can insert here, but it's still attached to the book. And so and then I was going to finish stitching in. That's when I decided, let me pop on here and talk about how easy the 3-hole punch stitch is. You take a piece of thread. This is wax thread. If you buy a kit at the craft store or online, you'll get about 3 rows of this wax thread, and you'll get different types of needles. The needle I'm using today is this rounded one. It's not necessary for a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You can actually just use the regular heavy one that's in it. This one is good for when you do the Coptic stitch is what it's called, because you're going into multiple journal layers. So what I do is first I take my thread and I do 3 lengths. You'll end up with a little extra, but you'll have a safe amount not to lose it while you're doing your stitching. So I do 3 lengths of whatever the journal is, size the journal is. And depending upon where your final stitch ends, if you want it to end out here where you're going to tie something or put dangles on it, you would start on the outside. For this one, I want it to end in the inside, and I'm going to cut it short. So I started my first stitch in the middle and the inside. Now for your holes, what you're going to do is you take your papers and your book cover together. You hold them together like this with clips, and you want to make sure that you've secured the papers where you want them. They're not hanging over the edge or off-centered if your pages are even. My pages are purposely not even, so it's not as big a deal. I did kind of start this video before, and I had taken the clips off. Once you punch your holes, never take the clips off until you finish doing the string, because then you have to try to find all the holes to all your layers. How I made the holes, I take a solid surface I do not mind sticking into. It could be a thick old book, or this is my one of my cutting boards, and then this is a makeup sponge. And what I did was I secure it down like this. I use my awl, and with my pages secure where I want, I find my middle. You can certainly measure it. I think that's the beauty of junk journal. You eye everything, but you punch down until you hear the thump on your final surface. Like when I'm doing it on a book, I can feel it when it ends in the book. and then about an inch, at least 3/4 of an inch for your top and bottom hole. And so I did the same thing there, press down till I got there, and same thing at the top. All right, then I went in with my first stitch. And I've already done this because, like I said, I had to find my hose again because I had taken it apart on the first take of this quick video that turned out to be a little longer than I expected. But anyway, I'm gonna put this in. Because it's wax thread, I think it threads really well when you haven't threaded it multiple times already, huh? I may have to cut it fresh. Come on. I may have to make a fresh cut. I'm pressing the thread together. Oh my goodness, come on. The fishing log PDF that I used, it wasn't quite the size I wanted it to be. So I kind of took the pieces of it and rearranged it so it fit this size journal. But it's a really nice fishing log. Okay, so imagine that I had done my first, I do about 3 inches of left over here. I went through the middle, out the back, and up to the top. And when I came in through the top, oh my goodness, I just threaded the wrong end. When I came in through this side, then you go down to the bottom. Okay, let me do that again. Then you go down to the bottom. Make sure you hold your tail so you don't lose your thread, but if you did 3 lengths, you should be okay. And go through your bottom hole. And if you stitch these together, if you punch them all together at the same time, it should go right through your original hole without a problem. And come out like that. And then I'm going to go, when you go in a hole where the thread is already, what you want to try not to do is to split the thread. So you want to go on one side or the other of the thread and not split the thread. Let's see here. Get in there. And then when you come in, you want to end up on this side, on the opposite side of the thread where where your tail is. Okay. I'll take this off so I can try to find it. It's a little more difficult, like I said, for me right this time because I had already taken it apart before I finished the stitch. There, I'm coming through now. Okay. Once you get through, you pull your thread. Then you pull sideways, up and down to tighten, like that. And you tie across your thread that went down the middle. Like now, there you go. That is how you do it. And then you're going to cut this off. I don't have my sewing scissors with me. So it's going to, cut it. All right. Let's do a quick walkthrough. There was some beautiful artwork done in that, and I added it to the back of this page, and then I inked the edges. This is the fishing log, and I did 3 pages, which produced 5 full log pages like this. 1, 2, and then this is a half page, and then on this side, you have 1, 2. So you have, and I mean, so it's a decent amount of logging. If a real fisherman is going to use it. they'll enjoy it for quite a while. And this is a kind of like a checklist, weather conditions. And if your fisherman does a lot of this, you can include more of these pages in the journal. But I'm sure the guys that I'm giving these to are going to enjoy it, at least for a few trips, right? All right, and that's it. This is a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch little log. I hope you enjoyed it.